clicked on this video and you think I'm gonna complain about it, well, you're wrong this time. Hey, what's up? It's Matt. I am in the garage and I thought it would be a good day to talk about the new fish finder unit I have on the Wilderness Radar 135 that I recently acquired. Well, not recently, but a couple of months ago. I did a couple of videos on the LOWRANCE Hook 2 and the issues that I had with it and kind of put a did not buy stamp on that particular unit. And when I was looking for another unit for the new kayak, what ended up happening was my mind was like, well, maybe it's a LOWRANCE issue. Maybe I should go to like a Humminbird or a Garmin, but I ended up finding a really good deal on a LOWRANCE Elite Ti7, and it's the Ti1, it's not the Ti2. And I want to talk to you a little bit before we actually look at the unit and show you two things that I wish somebody would have told me before it took hours to figure out. So I went with the Ti1, didn't go with the Ti2, and I did that for two main reasons. One, the Ti2 units are the newer models of these. The updates and the clarity, they're a little bit better than the original Ti1 model. However, the Ti2 has a ton of issues. Now, I'm stating this in June. Ti2 units for a long time, from anywhere from I think February all the way through April, were doing what was known as a 0.0, meaning that the units were actually losing the transducer and the unit became useless and you had to contact LOWRANCE, get an exchange, and there's a big kind of kerfuffle. Out West or Chris actually dealt with this. However, LOWRANCE has assured a lot of the users of the Ti2 units that they are fixable now with a regular software update. That being said, I didn't want to deal with the hassle, so I went with the Ti1 unit, and I knew that the technology that was in that particular unit could accommodate everything that I really need, and it was going to be a big step up from the Hook 2 series that I was initially playing with. The other reason why I didn't go with the Ti2 is because price. I mean, I literally got this 7-inch unit for I think under $500, and it really does serve my needs, and I'm super happy with it. So let's take a look at the unit right now. All right, so this is the actual unit in Wilderness's sonar pod. I know they don't call it that, but you'll notice that the battery is outside of the box right now, and I'm going to show you something that took me hours to figure out and I kind of panicked when I first got the unit open. But just to kind of take the cover off, cover does come with it. The normal screen will appear. I've obviously already turned it on. Here's the first thing that you need to know about these units if you get one and you can't figure out what the heck is going on. So if you try to push this right now, nothing happens, right? Well, the reason why is because the battery's not grounded. The real simple fix for this is to literally cover your hand on the battery and it'll ground it, and then the touch screen will work. This is the 7-inch model. I did not get the side scan on this particular model. However, if I wanted to upgrade and get the new transducer for it, I wouldn't have to get a new head unit. So it's one of the benefits of buying these units. The rationale on why I did not get the side scan: one, it was more expensive, but two, side scan really works well when you're going 2 to 5 miles per hour. These things are built for boats. When you take it out of the box, you're going to be like, oh wow, I can connect my motor to this and my speedometer to this and link it up with other units. Unfortunately, at this particular time in the life cycle of kayak fishing, no major sonar companies are making units specifically for kayaks. So keep that in mind when you're buying a unit. The other reason is because I chose to put it in one of these sonar pods, let's just call them that for now. If you buy the side scan, it has to go lower than the hull. So prototypically 1/8 of an inch lower than the rest of the hull. Because I wanted the simplicity of the pod and I wanted to be able to run this and not worry about damaging the unit if I ran over rocks or whatever, and God knows we've already know that I've broken the drive. So I put it in this particular put it in the particular sonar pod for the simple fact of the matter is that it would be protected. So I kind of just told you the one thing that was driving me crazy that nobody else talked about was grounding the battery in order for the touchscreen to work. The other thing that drove me bonkers. And it took me a lot of research online to figure this out. And it wasn't that easy to find, believe it or not. And I've had some other people ask me about the update. Now, these TI units, whether it's the TI1 or TI2, they launched Fish Reveal last year. And the Fish Reveal technology is really for your down scan. What this allows you to do is to kind of run just one screen, which would be your down scan screen, and it takes the technology of the sonar and overlays it onto the down imaging. You can't use it with the side scan, you can only use it with the down scan. But what this allows you to do is to see fish and structure much more clearly using one big screen. Now, this is where my troubles ran into and it drove me crazy. I'm going to give you a tip or something you may not know. These are all wireless. They connect to your internet or your phone or whatever it may be. So when it's ready to do the whole system update, you'll go to your settings, and then you'll go to system, and then you'll go down to about. And what will end up happening is a little screen will pop up saying there's an update available. Now, to do this update, there's two choices. You can either download it onto an SD card, which goes in this little slot right here, or you can basically put an SD card in there. And this is where most people don't realize why they're not getting their updates, or why they're not able to do the software update. This card that goes in here cannot be bigger than a 32 SD card. What that means is, what I was doing was I was putting in like a 128 and thinking, oh, this is basically, this is going to carry all this information over and I'm going to be able to do the update. Well, it wouldn't update, and it was driving me bonkers, and I found out the reason why is because essentially it cannot be bigger than a 32. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. So this really wasn't a review of this particular unit. I do love it. I think the 7-inch is large enough. I do have it in the sonar pod in the wilderness, which is pretty far away. I can see everything pretty clear and kind of blind. But the thing that I really do like about this unit is that fish reveal option, and the fact that it is pretty clear on the stuff that I can see on the screen. Now, I did make this video specifically because I saw someone the other day who just bought one of these units that was really kind of losing their mind on why the touchscreen didn't work. Touchscreen doesn't work when it's out of the water because the battery's not grounded. So cover it up and that'll be that. And then literally 2 days later, I saw someone going bonkers on why they couldn't do the software update and everything look right. It was because they're using too big of an SD card. So those are two things that I hope kind of, are tips for anybody who recently bought one of these units. I definitely recommend keeping the software up to date. If you do have a TI2 unit, as I did mention, apparently the new software update will fix your 00.00, whatever it may be, loss of transducer issue as well. Thanks for watching these things. I probably won't be fishing for a little while, but hope to be on the water soon. Thanks.